Hello, we're back. Short break. Mark's been caravanning.
And?
Well, you know, you've been away. Mind you, we belted out 4 episodes in a week, so...
We did.
I'm starting to think I maybe should have eked them out 2 a week, rather than belting them all out and then leaving a gap. But, you know, hindsight's 2020, isn't it?
Yeah, I can see clearly now.
Hindsight doesn't need glasses.
That's
see
it.
Clearly now.
Now Lorraine's gone.
Now Lorraine has gone. She was a big lass.
She was, yeah. She kept getting in my way of my vision all the time. I couldn't see nowt.
Right. All them smaller people orbiting her.
Yeah. She was something like some sort of planet in Pluto, wasn't she?
Aye. Uranus. So today we've had we've been having some success on Instagram. I set that up last month. I thought, well, why not? People keep asking me, is that, oh, you're on Instagram? Oh, well, I'm not interested then. I was like, right, well, it doesn't take that much more work to add that in when you're using the Meta Business Suite. You can post in. I'll do it. I'll sort it out. Having sort of relative amounts of success, then all of a sudden, I posted the Pooper joke, right? What's the stinkiest planet? And it's had over 600,000 plays and hit over 500,000 accounts. A whole bunch of, I don't know, about 4,000 people have bookmarked it, and as far as comments go, last count was 287, and we're just short of 37,000 likes. And then every other post after that has increased, and we've ended up with over, I don't know how many was it, 465 followers, starting from, I don't know, 4 or 5, most of which were my other accounts. and you and Sarah and a few others following us. Bonkers.
It takes me back a few months ago. You know, when we did the joke release, and a couple of the jokes did quite well on Facebook.
Oh yeah, we got about 5,500 plays on YouTube.
Yeah,
so you know, it seems people like to laugh.
This is a totally different level, isn't it?
In it, and it was the daftest jokes, and I've always been in two minds about, you know, when people say, you know, at heart we're all good people. I said, we're not. Well, no, if you go down to our DNA, we're all competitive people, because you want your genes to survive instead of someone else's. So if you want to go down to, you know, back to basics, we're all competitive. We're all either wondering why we don't fit in, trying to be better than someone else, or trying to equal someone else, what have you.
My flu was worse than your flu.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. It's like that Monty Python sketch, isn't it, about the Yorkshireman?
That's it.
We didn't have
live in a house. We lived in a cardboard box.
I got beef 5 times a day.
Yeah.
We had coal for supper, coal for breakfast. You had supper and breakfast.
Oh, oh no, you're born.
Aye, that stuff. But one thing it did restore me is that there are people out there with the silliest of senses of humour, much like we do. That there are people out there that find childishness like that funny, that they're taking a moment to not just have a laugh, but to leave a little comment, like, or they've taken, or to subscribe. And of course, I've been posting other short clips since, all of the same sort of daft nature. Like one of my favourites was caught masturbating on the roof, and my boss said you could just wipe the slate clean.
Me.
It's a very short version of that joke, but I put that one out recently.
I did as I was travelling in the lift with a couple of clients. I did and there was some other people in the lift. I did the lift joke.
They're wrong on all levels.
Yeah.
How was that received?
really well because one of the people that was in the lift didn't realize what I was talking about because I used the word flatulence and they didn't know what the word meant.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's a young crew. They didn't know what the word flatulence meant, and then we were talking about an experience where I had to tell somebody they had the smelt, and I talked about halitosis, and they were like, "What's halitosis?"
You don't learn words these days. I mean, come on,
No, you don't.
flatulence. I can't remember where I learned it, but I picked it up just as and when. It wasn't
Yeah.
something I went out and read up on. It's weird that.
I know.
Flatulence.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what I started to do, and what I wanted to talk about today was the comments.
Yeah.
The comments on that particular video have been just downright horrible.
All right.
Some
Let
of
me
which I've
let me pull you on the stats. So I'm going to go the numbers and the numbers here. How many comments have you had in total?
Well, it's nearly 300.
300. Okay.
Nearly, just short.
300. Right. And how many? Right. Go on with your point because I've got 300 in my head now.
And I hummed and hawed about trashing some of them because some of them were just downright like that doesn't need to exist on the internet. And I thought they think they've got a win there, because it's anonymous, it's the internet. People will get to see it, but nobody knows who said it. Just that this weird username has said it. And I thought, it's given me a little bit of an insight into human nature that I already knew. They're probably sat there going, ha ha ha, ha ha, and I thought, right, I'm going to have my laugh and I'm going to delete it.
Yeah.
So how about that? Up yours. And I haven't deleted many. What's it, 20 or 30 of them? And some of them were just nasty. I'm like, that doesn't need to exist. Some of them were annoying. So I went on a bit of a clean up. And some of them were just taking the mick out of having posted the video itself, because I put a little outro on the end, just with all our socials and whatnot on. Oh, bro's got an outro, bloody hell. I'm like, so? Stuff you. I deleted it. I maybe just went a bit too far in what I deleted, but this maybe it's 20 or 30 I've taken out, but some of the comments are weird. Like, there are so many people that insist the answer should have been Uranus. Like, what's the stinkiest planet? Uranus. And I'm like, right. If you think that, you haven't got the joke.
Yeah.
The whole point of the joke was to not say the answer you're expecting. It was to say not only something you didn't expect, but to say something ridiculous. Like, Uranus doesn't need changing, right? It sounds funny on its own. But to change Jupiter to Pupiter was incredibly childish. But it was also completely unexpected. And that's what caught me out when I read it. Was, oh, it's going to be one of them Uranus jokes. Ooh, and it didn't. And I was laughing for a solid 5-10 minutes. Because it just caught me out. And there's a few people on there saying, oh, I've shown my grandkids this. Or I've shown the family this. This shouldn't be as funny as it is. Just comments like that. I'm like, that's exactly why I posted it. Because it shouldn't be that funny, but it is. Because you think it's going to be this answer. And it's not only a different one. It's just something completely silly and childish. Pupiter. Like, well, all these people, and there's tons of them, you've missed a trick there if you should have said Uranus. Or you've totally missed the point there. Would have been funny if it was Uranus. Uranus, exclamation mark. It's just stuff like that. I'm like, well, you've missed the point of the joke. But then I thought, well, some people like a joke. Some people find stuff funny when they've got the answer right, I suppose. Like, if I'd said that, a different group of people would have found that funny. But I was aiming for the same group of people that we are, that we like something that's a bit daft and childish, and you're never too old, that sort of thing. Some people have said things like, "Oh, the Liberals aren't going to like this one." What? What do you mean? I don't understand that. And many people have actually. Well, one person said, "Well, actually, Titan would smell due to the lakes of liquid methane." Oh, clever.
Yeah.
See, that's a clever joke.
I was just
So
thinking.
people have gone on to make some of their own, and they've really made me chuckle. Some of the daft gifts that are on there, like the Ultimate Warrior, You know, the way he used to shake the side of the ring like this and get totally worked up. So there's been some really, really daft reactions. Some I don't understand.
I was trying to think, how do you take it to another level? So in mine, I just thought through it because of the comments you've been saying. So the lead in is what is the stinkiest planet?
Mm.
Yeah. So coming out of Uranus is Jupiter. No.
It's perfect joke structure the way that it is.
Yeah.
I mean that is exactly what it's just a lead in, and a punchline should hit you like that, take you in a direction that you hadn't or probably wouldn't predict. That's what it's that incongruity is part of what makes you laugh. Some of it's just.
So how many did you delete, or how many you focused on there?
I must have deleted 20, maybe 30 maximum. It's probably more like somewhere in the middle. 20 odd, and some of them were just, I thought that doesn't need to exist.
Yeah,
there was no need to say that. So I trashed those, and then I got a bit picky with some of the responses. Like I went, not having that in there.
Yeah.
So I'm making fun of the fact that I'd put an outro on. I went,
so if you deleted 30, that's what, 10%?
About.
Yeah. So 90% is what we would move towards a positive tone.
Some of them I'm just like, well, I'll just leave it.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it. I don't get why they've posted that particular GIF. Some of them, so many of them are complaining that it wasn't Uranus. Just get over it. And one guy said, I thought you would say Saturn because it's a gas giant, but then again, Uranus would probably smell worse. I thought, I'll have more of that. That's good. Chuck a few of your own in there. A jokey comment on the joke.
Yeah.
Why not? So I've made a point of actually reading all of them, and I've gone through and clicked like on them, because there's no better than when you've said something to someone you're following, and the person you're following reacts, and you know that they've read your thing. So that'd be nice. So I went through and I've made a point of reading every single one of them and clicking like on. There's still more coming in. Bearing in mind, I think I posted this about a week or so ago. It's still going. But it's nice to see that there are some other silly people out there.
Yeah.
It's just a shame. I suppose you could argue that the idiots are in the minority, right?
100%. Well, even it's just like
you said, 10%.
If I took you to the ice cream shop and there's 100 flavors there, me and you're not going to pick the same flavor ice cream.
True. It's going to be strawberry or vanilla for me.
I'm coffee and mint.
Coffee and mint. I can't be doing mint. My brother used to have mint choc chip.
Yeah.
I'm like, it feels like I'm eating air or something. Like ice cream's already cold, and then you're going to put mint in it. It's a weird sensation.
Yeah, and that's what makes
raspberry ripple.
In my view, that's what makes the world a wonderful place. I have to be honest. I wouldn't read the comments because I'm just not interested. Now, if I was to read them for an interest point of view to change, to potentially change the way what we deliver as a message, that's different. Now, but in terms of reading it to how is it going to affect my mental state, I ain't reading that shit.
But this is what I questioned as I was reading through. Like, do I want to continue? And then I just took the position that this is an interesting study of what people are like, what the internet's really like. And you hear celebrities saying, "Oh, I get these sorts of threats all the time. I get these sorts of comments all the time." Now, well, this is our chance to have an insight into, what sort of things does our content provoke? Because it seems that people are far more active on commenting and sharing on Instagram than they are on the other platforms. Even on Facebook, the interactivity is not as high as it is on Instagram. There's a ton of stuff on some of the other posts where people have actually bothered to sit and type something. I thought, well, it's an insight if nothing else, so I should take that tack when I read through it. It's not about getting emotional. It's just about, well, let's have a look and see what the crack is.
Yeah.
And like you said, I also thought we might find material in there. It might be interesting to see that people expected this and that. I thought, well, I might find something interesting to talk about. And of course I did. When I started seeing the trends of things, I thought, it's kind of a fascinating insight into how bits of the internet work.
Yeah, I mean, that bit you are great at. I don't understand it, but the fact, you talk to a lot of the people that are our age and maybe a bit older. If you were to say that the same joke, if you just change the way you publish it, will get 500,000 views, they would say you were crazy.
Oh, I mean, it's like I was saying beforehand, the other jokes, maybe it's got a few hundred, maybe got over 1,000 now and again, but mostly we were still in triple digits, so it was in the hundreds, right, for most of the posts. Since I started it up, what was it, middle of August, and it was trending, I thought, well, it's not millions, is it? And like I said to you, I just thought, you know what, maybe this is all about hashtags.
Yeah.
So instead of putting the hashtags that we're a podcast, we're Geordie in Newcastle, Spotify, YouTube, putting all these different hashtag YouTube podcast, hashtag Spotify podcast, hashtag dad joke, hashtag one liner, all of these different things, like describing what the video is. I just dug into a bit more research and thought, you know what? Next one and future ones, I'm going to talk about what it is. So then I started putting hashtag space, Jupiter, astronomy. I even put astrology on there, even though it's not a science. I didn't realise I'd typed it in, but I did. So space, Jupiter, cosmology, astronomy, NASA, hashtag facts, hashtag fun facts, stuff like that. Like irony. It's not a fact, is it? But I changed all that, and then it absolutely blew up. It just started getting shared. As soon as it started getting shared and liked, it just went off it. Some of that will be the Instagram algorithm going, this is popular.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can hire it to someone else and see what happens. So as soon as you start creating engagement, a decent amount of engagement, the algorithm takes over and goes, right, let's chuck it out to a few new people. This might keep people on Instagram. And before you know it, it does. It does. And then it then becomes a cycle, because that video is still getting likes and comments and views. It's still going up. I don't know when it's going to stop. It's still going.
It's quite a tough one, though, isn't it? When you've sort of ring fenced something about space, created a joke. It's nothing to do with us, really. It's just a joke. If you wanted to talk about cheese today, you might get a different result from talking about cheese and a joke on cheese.
Oh, totally. And if you look at how our actual podcast posts have done, it's got 8 likes on there. It's got about 9 on there. It's got another 8 or 9 on here. And then when you look at the one about shoes, like where do you leave your shoes? 262 views, and it even tells you whether it was the hashtags that did it or whether it was people viewing your profile. 8 likes, and it reached 262 accounts. So it's a visual platform, so I guess videos and pictures are always going to trend better. And the podcast posts are about episodes where you have to click and go somewhere else to watch it.
Yeah.
So you have to go to YouTube or Spotify or listen to it on Apple Podcasts. That's one thing I haven't checked, mind. Our Spotify listens shot up for a week. So we've got a whole bunch of new plays and new followers on there, but I haven't checked Apple, which I imagine would be the more popular, although the Apple stats, it's the worst. It is the worst statistics interface I have ever seen. it takes 900 years to update any stats. It claims there are episodes that have no listens when I know people have listened to them. Because I've been talking to people about them. So I know there are some stats, but it seems to take ages to deliver. But it'll be interesting to see the other consequences of one thing being popular. Have people then spread out? We've got a couple of extra subscribers on YouTube, for example. And there have been some people, some of our older episodes, some of our more recent episodes. If you look at the stats on YouTube, somebody's been going through the whole catalogue. And all sorts of episodes have been played by a handful of people. So all of these things, podcasts were posted, and they've just tore through the playlist on past and future episodes. So it's had that other sort of consequence as well. But it means that in some way, shape or form, what we're doing is worth something. I think that's a decent takeaway.
Yeah. I think, the thing is, it has to be worth it to us, and that's the most important thing.
There is that, and it is a bit of work, and it is tricky sometimes to keep the motivation when you see that something you really enjoyed talking about got 12 views. Well, that can be down to the algorithm. It can be down to what's trending at the minute, what YouTube thinks is popular at the minute. And it's not your video, it's this other video. Like Russell Brand, everybody's speaking about that at the minute. And I was tempted to say, "Oh, do you fancy talking about it?" Well, I'm in two minds. Like, do I want to get on the bandwagon about it? And I'm sure you and I have plenty of valid things to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps we should cover it.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it Friday, whatever.
Yeah, and perhaps we should, because there's more than just stuff about him in there. It's also about, how we both feel about the news and media and whatnot. There's a bit of that in there, and then there's a bit of, should we know his name already? He hasn't been convicted of anything, but in the court of public opinion on Twitter, they've already decided.
Yeah.
And you're not going to change half of their minds. Even if he's gone through the whole, you saw the Johnny Depp thing, where that went. That was up and down like a yo-yo all over the place. So
Cliff Richard.
Yeah, look, BBC, the police hadn't even attended his place yet. And they put it straight out on the news.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
Just went, "Oh, did you know this?" And then police went in and tore his place to bits. And of course, then once it's out in the media, the police know that they're visible, so then they might change the way they act around that person because it's in the media. And I just wonder sometimes if the media knows or abuses its responsibility.
It's like a confirmation bias, isn't it? It's like, I did a bit of that this week.
Yeah,
confirmation bias.
Yeah, we'll have to do some more. You've done some interesting training bits lately, so
yeah.
I wouldn't mind getting back to some of that. Although I've been enjoying our other episodes we've been doing these past few weeks. It's been kind of fun.
Yeah.
Provoking some comments and whatnot. But so what you got coming up next?
We have got coming up next summer versus winter wardrobe.
Yeah.
Proper girly subject for me.
Aye. And we've got a couple of interesting ones for Friday. Although I might swap it out for the Russell Brand thing, but we'll see.
Yeah, I could, because I could put in one of my coaching bits from the last couple of weeks because they've been quite interesting. And the one I'd saved about the thing that's happening at the end of next month, we could save that.
Yeah, so we'll be back on track.
Yeah.
I'll try and get this out tonight. So we're back on track for Monday, Thursday releases. We'll record again Friday.
Sounds like some sort of religious program now. Monday, Thursday.
Monday, Thursday. Monday,
Thursday.
Aye. I don't get all that. My mum does all that.
Yeah.
You can't have fish.
No.
You can have fish then. You can't have meat. You can have meat on that day.
No.
I don't get it. I don't know why. Anyway, so likes and subscribes, comments, questions. Go check out our Insta, see what you think. There's a whole bunch of stuff on there. I've got some more stuff coming up. whole bunch of other clips and things I'm going to chuck on there. But until Thursday, take care.